My brother, sister, and I recently had a conversation with our dad. Some of you know that my parents divorced when I was 5 years old, and my brother, sister, and I were raised by a single mom in a trailer park, extremely poor. But my dad had this conversation with us, kind of a heart to heart, where he said, I'm really sorry how you guys had to grow up and what you went through after the divorce. We had never heard that. That was 50 years ago. Never heard that before. But it made me stop and think about why I wouldn't change anything and the good that came out of growing up poor. And I came up with 9 things, 9 characteristics that I walked away with now later in life. And the only reason I have these characteristics so strongly embedded in my life is because I grew up poor. And I'm going to share those with you today. Number 1 is faith. My goodness, how can anybody who grows up poor not make it through that valley without faith? You have to have faith in something. We had faith in God, but you have to have faith in something to know where your next meal's coming from. Everybody's going to be okay. You're going to be able to stay where you are and not get evicted. Tomorrow you're going to have a meal. You're going to be able to do things and live and survive. You're going to have your family with you. So you build a strong faith. And our faith, my little family unit, was strongly embedded in faith in God, that He was going to provide. He was going to be our dad. He was going to step in, and He wasn't going to let us, my brother, sister, and I, feel that void that can be caused by not having a dad in our lives directly. So He did come through in spades, and that right now is probably my number 1. It is my number 1. Just a faith in God, a faith in things, a faith in hope, a faith in positivity, a faith in things are going to get better. That is strongly instilled in my life. Number 2, humility. Wow, when you're poor, you certainly can't be prideful. It's tough. When you're rich and you got stuff and you got material, things in your life, you think that's happiness. You think that's what it's all about. And you could build a puffy pride in yourself and not really pay attention to other things that are going around you. And you miss out on a lot of things that pass right by you because you're so content and engulfed in your material things. But I developed a strong sense of humility to where you're just walking humbly and you're not better than anybody else. Certainly not because of your stuff. So I think growing up poor just really kept me humble and a little quiet and just kind of under the radar, which has helped me later in life. And I can see it in other people. You see pride and puffiness in other people. And I'm so glad that I've got that humility down to the core in me because of growing up so horribly poor when I was younger. The third thing that I really took away from growing up poor is a sense of empathy. I can empathize with other people's situations. So when people come to me and they've got a problem, they're hurting, they're sick, they're suffering, they lost their job, whatever it is, they're going through a divorce, going through a tough time, bad relationship, whatever it is, I have a strong empathy for other people because I went through things like that. I went through the valley. I went through the tough times growing up. And that instilled it in me. Now, I didn't go when I was little, first grade, second grade, and I was growing through this. I didn't realize what was happening and all these characteristics that were being instilled in my DNA. It was just life. Going through that, you walk away with these things. And I am so grateful that I have them. And that number 3 is empathy. I'm glad that I'm empathetic towards other people. And it all comes rooted from that very humble, poor beginning. Number 4, a sense of frugality. That's being frugal. That's being penny wise, right? Not having any money growing up makes you extremely frugal. I had many meals that was just a bowl of grits, maybe a piece of cheese toast, something like that, a piece of fried bologna. Woo, Where are my poor people at? You can feel me, right? That certainly brings frugality. When you go to the grocery store and all you have is maybe $30 to buy for the whole family, you're frugal. You don't get name brands. I didn't get all the name brands. I got all the off-brand stuff. That's what we had in the house, was off-brand things, because that's all my mom could afford. So yeah, that sense of frugality, being very frugal and being smart with money, has helped me later in life not to just splurge and think that money grows on trees. It's helped me later in life to really have a strong sense of the value of money and an appreciation for the value of a dollar, and being able to stretch that out, and how important it is to have savings and not just live check to check. Being extremely frugal has helped me tremendously. Number 5, a strong work ethic. You have to have a strong work ethic when you're poor, because you're not just sitting around and mom and dad are just feeding toys into your life and stuff and things, material, all these things that you could imagine is there. No, you got to work for it. If you want to skateboard, you got to work for it. You go cut some yards, cut grass with your lawnmower. You go do things, pick up trash, babysit, whatever it is, walk dogs, whatever the task is, you build a work ethic. You build that sense of, when I work, I get money. When I get money, I can buy things. That whole sense of work ethic and doing a great job. And anytime somebody asks you to do something, I would always do a little more than they asked, because I was hoping I would get paid a little bit more. And that has certainly helped me later in life. When I'm in the real job and I'm in a profession, I always do more than what somebody asks, with that hope that they're going to recognize it. I'm going to go through the ranks. I'm going to get promoted. The next time a raise comes up or somebody's looking for a position, they'll look at me, because I'm always the one that goes up and beyond. And that work ethic started from that very poor, humble beginning. Number 6, patience. Wow, what a virtue patience is. And I had it in spades, because you have to wait for things. You don't have that instant gratification when you're poor. You got to wait. So when you want something, you have to wait for it. Wait for the savings to come up. Maybe cut 5 yards or 10 yards to get money to be able to get something. So that delayed gratification taught me patience and how to just wait and not be so spur of the moment. Right now, got to have it. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I think that cripples a lot of people when they grow up rich, when they grow up and they can get things just by asking for it. I think that cripples a lot of people. But me, yeah, not the case. I wasn't crippled. I was patient. I had to wait for it. I had to wait for things to happen. And when they happened, I had a strong sense of gratitude for it. Which leads me to number 7, gratitude. I have a strong sense of gratitude for things. Anytime somebody does something for me special, I'll always text them, I'll call them, I'll write them, whatever it takes. I will let them know how much I appreciate what's going on. And just a gratitude for life, a gratitude for health. Every time I wake up in the morning, when I open my eyes, the first thing out of my mouth is thank God for another day. Thank you, Jesus, for my health. Thank you that I can wake up. I've got family. I can do things. Thank you for my job. It's just that strong sense of gratitude. And I have that because I grew up poor and we didn't have a whole lot. So you're grateful for anything. I maybe had 3 pair of pants and maybe 6 shirts, not many toys, and I was extremely grateful for those things that I had. And that gratitude came, that root came from not having much. And all this goes back to the conversation I had with my dad when he said, hey, I'm so sorry for the way you guys grew up, and I was just kind of out of the picture, and I know it was really tough. And at first I was like, yeah, it was freaking sucked. I mean, it was really hard. But I accepted his apology, and it made me ponder and think about these things that I'm sharing with you. Number 9, a strong sense of creativity. Man, when you're poor, you get creative. Not only creative with meals, when you're thinking of making a meal out of grits, and you've got grits with pepper, you got grits with butter, you got grits with sugar. Different ways that you can even make grits, you get creative. But just not having anything gives you a creative mind, because as a kid, you want to play. You want to do things, so you go outside. We were outside all the time until it was dark, until mom called us in. We were outside playing. And it's with rocks or with sticks or making swings, making forts with nothing. Just whatever was out in the yard or out in the woods, a creek, whatever it was. That's where we had our fun and our imagination just kicked in. So the creative side of me really kicked off and started flourishing because we had to be creative to entertain ourselves. We would make up a game just about out of anything. No matter what it was out in the yard, we would make a competition game out of it somehow. So that really just rooted a strong sense of creativity. And now I'm in marketing. I have to have creativity in my marketing, in my career. So if I didn't have that sense, that strong sense to fill that void with creativity, I might not even be in the profession that I'm in today. Because of that, I'm so grateful. And number 9, I don't even know if I'm saying my numbers right. I'm hoping I'm getting these numbers right. This is the last one. Number 9, a strong sense of true happiness. Now, some people think relationships make you happy or money makes you happy, stuff makes you happy, toys, cars, material things make you happy, right? Not the case. Love, dependency, family, these things make you happy. Faith, all the things that I've already listed, the top 8 that I listed, all of those things make you happy. So when you can have absolutely nothing, but have absolutely everything at the same time, think about that. That's true happiness. So when you can find happiness and be content when you don't have anything, when you pretty much don't have what everybody else has, you can't do a whole lot of Instagram stuff because you're faking it, because you don't have the beautiful car to be beside or whatever it is that these other people have, the makeup, the name brands, the jewelry, whatever it is. If you don't have that stuff, you got to fake it, right? Well, true happiness is being content wherever you are. It is having nothing and having everything at the same time. So when you've got those strong relationships and you've got love and you've got faith and patience and humility and frugality, you've got all these things that I mentioned, that is happiness. And when you have true happiness, there's no stopping you. It doesn't matter what comes along your way. If you've got true happiness, you're going to be able to weather the storm because you've got deep roots that are going to hold you up no matter what the storm is. So find that true happiness. So hey, all my poor people out there, embrace it. Be grateful that you are poor because it would cripple you if you weren't. Now, I've been to Kenya a couple of times with missions and ministries, and we work with the Maasai people over there, and they talk about having nothing. They've got nothing. They've got a little mud hut that they live in with a whole family. Their father is out for months at a time with a herd of sheep or goats or cows, just trying to chase grass to keep them fed. The family stays back. They grow up barefooted. They walk 3 or 4 miles to school. I mean, these are 4 and 5-year-olds walking miles to school and walking miles to church, and they're grateful when they get there. No air conditioning, no running water. They've got to walk miles to get water and carry a big jug just to fill up that water and bring it back. So talk about having nothing and having everything. They always have a smile on their face. That is the most beautiful people on the planet that I've ever seen in person is the Maasai people in Kenya, the Maasai tribe in Kenya, in the Segera area. Those people truly have happiness. And I would love to emulate that. So yeah, if you grow up poor, man, just embrace the things that you're going to walk away with later in life. I know it may be tough now, but you're going to love it later in life. So there you go. That's my 9 things that I took away, the 9 characteristics that help me be happy that I grew up poor. I hope you enjoyed that. Please look at all my other videos across this channel. If you hadn't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I really appreciate all my viewers. And let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Put a like and a comment down below and let me know what you think about growing up rich or growing up poor and how maybe it's helped you or hurt you. I would love to hear from you. Have a great day. See you next time.